It is that time of the year again, folks. Media Day is upon us as we are seeing our brand new superstar have his first media day with the Sacramento Kings, and we're also going to be going over some quotes from the front office as well. Sup guys, so this is always one of the most exciting parts of the new season as we get to see the brand new roster show off their new threads and get to hear some quotes from them as well. Also some quotes from the front office that are just really important as they go over their expectations heading into the brand new season. And media day is always so exciting because the season is just around the corner and everybody's getting prepared and getting situated and getting all the picks for the upcoming season. But before we get into the rest of the video, guys, welcome back to Kings Digest, channel showcasing all of the upcoming Sacramento Kings news. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, as YouTube still tells me that 85% of you guys that are watching my videos still aren't yet subscribed. So please do me a favor, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get the 500 subs before October 24th against the new look Timberwolves, as that's definitely going to be such an exciting matchup to watch to start the season off with. But make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and hit the bell as well so you don't miss any future content. Now, let's head into the first report to today, as we got a quote from head coach Mike Brown, as he is basically questioned about the recent injury struggles that has fallen upon the Sacramento Kings, as during media day on Monday, Kings head coach Mike Brown was asked about the current injury situation, as James Ham of ESPN asked Brown, "What is your take on the injuries that you're going to walk into training camp with?" And Mike Brown says, obviously you want everybody healthy, but that's just part of it. As you look back, even last year we had injuries. It stunk and I hated it, but at the end of the day, guys got an opportunity to step up and get some invaluable playing experience that they wouldn't have gotten if guys were healthy. And so for us, it's the same thing, and it's the next man up. The next guy has to step up, and we got to hold down the fort until other guys gets back. But injuries are a part of the game, and it's not something that you wish upon anybody. And clearly Coach Brown is staying positive by pointing out that the injuries will give other players the chance to step up and show their worth. And I mean, that's basically how I took it in the last video that I just put out. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, I basically just went over the brand new injury report that struck us not too long ago, stating how Jordan McLaughlin and Trey Lyles both came down with injuries during off-season workouts before the training camp even started. But as Mike Brown stated and I stated in the last video, this does give the chance for some of the younger guys, the younger prospects on the roster that wouldn't normally get much playing time and much valuable minutes. They can step up, get that experience, hopefully show off to Mike Brown that they too have the skill set that could potentially be valuable for our roster. And who knows, maybe someday down the line they will get an opportunity to step up and get some valuable playing time on an NBA court. And who knows, you can never tell these things in the NBA, as we've seen crazier things happen. Some players emerge out of nowhere and become stars, and then you got star players that just fall off. That stuff happens. So I'm just really curious now to watch preseason and see what role players step up and see how they perform with these new minutes, as we are definitely going to be looking for some of these players to step up, gain some experience to try to support our starting five. And I mean, the bench depth, because we got a crazy starting five right now, and I will be going over it later on in the video, but to get that bench more developed is going to be crucial if we want to win a few more games next season. I just wanted to showcase this right quick, as I mentioned, the starting players, as like, just tell me how happy these guys look. I'm so excited to watch these guys play together next season. I mean, But it looks like they already got the perfect chemistry. This starting five is lethal, but I know I just said starting five, but I'm actually going to go over in the video that Mike Brown actually declared the starting five in an interview earlier today. And one of these players is not in it, and yes, Malik Monk actually is going to be coming off the bench again next season, which I mean, it's going to shock a lot of people because I know some people have been saying in my comments that they believe Malik Monk should 100% be starting, especially after the stellar year he had last season. But I personally believe that Malik Monk would be more valuable leading the bench again, as if you put him in a starting lineup with Fox, DeRozan, Sabonis, and Murray, I mean, he can only get so many touches because you're looking at Monk being the fourth to fifth option. I mean, or even third to fourth option in that starting lineup alone. I mean, you go through Fox, you go through DeRozan and Sabonis. I mean, it just make more sense if he just came off the bench again, as he is going to be the primary scorer off of our bench, and that's just more of a fitting role for him. And I believe that is going to be the best possible scenario if we want to maximize his insane scoring ability. And having him and, well, I'm going to spoil it, but having him and Kevin Huerter coming off the bench together is just going to be insane as a 1-2 punch scoring duo on the backcourt coming off our bench. It's just crazy. I believe it's going to work wonders. As we head over into this next report, I opened up Instagram to see that Coach Brown says that the Kings will roll out a starting unit of Fox, Keon Ellis, DeRozan, Keegan, and Sabonis. And that is a great call, and I believe with this take wholeheartedly, as Keon can defend the opposing team's best guard and has shown he can knock down a three ball at a high clip, and Monk and Huerter off the bench, our offense is never going to slow down, and we're getting more and more excited for the season as it's creeping closer. And I mean, that was just great news for me to open up Instagram and see, as I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this before. Having Keon Ellis in that starting lineup is just ideal, as you can have him guard the opposing team's best offensive threat, take some pressure off of Fox and DeRozan, especially because he is not the greatest on-ball defender, and that is not why we picked him up. We picked him up to help us close out games at an even more elite level than before, as we already had De'Aaron Fox with his insane ability to perform in the crunch time, but now we got DeMar DeRozan, so that's just going to make it even easier to close out games and makes us a team to fear once we get into that fourth quarter. And now you got Keon Ellis playing his menacing defense along with the scoring versatility between DeRozan, Fox, and Sabonis, and Keegan Murray is going to be taking that next leap as well. That is just an insane starting five. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of that. I think it is just perfect, and I believe Mike Brown just hit the nail on the head with this. And obviously he's going to switch it up sometimes here and there throughout the season, but this is just perfect to me, and I believe this is what's going to make us have a deep playoff run with this insane starting lineup and the insane bench as well. But we got some more topics in this interview, as Mike Brown wasn't the only front office to have a quote, as McNair as well stated his expectations heading into next season. And I mean, he got some pretty big expectations and a big goal in mind for the Kings next season. But if we can execute it, there's no doubt that we are going to be elite come next season. Now, let's just head over to it. As Monte McNair says, the Sacramento Kings are emphasizing playing fast this year, according to Matt George. As McNair says, the Kings want to be top 5 in offensive pace minimum this season. They want to play fast. And, I mean, when people look at Sacramento Kings anyways, they think that we're generally a fast-paced team, and I mean, we are relatively a really fast-paced team. We play through De'Aaron Fox, who's one of the fastest players, if not the fastest in the league, but it has dipped down past few seasons. As I mean, if we look here, oh, sorry. If we look here, according to NBA.com, the Kings finished last year with a pace of 99.47. Good for 14th highest in the league, but that was a slight decrease from the season prior. But the Kings haven't been in the top 5 in pace since the 2018-2019 season. And if you look at the past 6 seasons, I mean, we're 14th last year, 12th the year before, 9th, 19th, and 3rd in 2019. So McNair just basically wants us to get back to that pace that we had back in 2019. And while that is a big ask from him, it is something that we are definitely capable of doing, especially since we got De'Aaron Fox, we got Malik Monk, who's great in the transition as well. We got DeRozan, who is one of the most athletic players in the league, so he can definitely keep up with that pace, even though it's going to be a massive change from Chicago, as they were like 24th in pace or something last year, something like that. So it's going to be some getting used to for DeMar, but there's no doubt in my mind that he has the athletic ability to keep up with the younger players as we are running this faster paced offense. And I do believe that if we stay true to McNair's wishes and goals for next season and keep up with the stellar defense that we have been playing since the end of last season, and especially with the development of Keon Ellis in the starting lineup, along with Keegan Murray taking that big leap as well, if we can get to that top 5 offensive pace and keep up that stellar defense, we are golden for next year, as I believe we are sleepers for contenders next season, especially now that the Timberwolves aren't looking the greatest to me right now, as I do believe that move was questionable. As why do you change up a roster if you just were in the Western Conference Finals? But I do believe that we could even make some bigger noise next season in Western Conference. But that's all for today's video, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the media day. It's always one of the most exciting parts of the season. And let me know down in the comments what you believe of McNair's goal for next season and Mike Brown stating his starting 5. And let me know down in the comments what you believe, your expectations for the Kings next season. And that's all for today, guys. Peace out. See you in the next one.